Hi, Sydney.
Hi. Oh, this plant makes me look weird.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Why is it not letting me? Is it the correct screen?
It is the Orientation Mentors and Mentees PowerPoint.
Perfect. Okay, so really quick, how do we want to do this? Who wants to welcome?
I can welcome, and then you can finish up at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have everyone go around and say their name first. And then we'll get into announcements so that we can like give people time to come on.
Perfect. That sounds good. We have a pretty good number in the weight room.
Oh, really? That's good.
Yeah, we have 8.
Do you think we should give people like a minute or two to fill out the attendance form? So like I can put the link in and be like, "Okay, I'll give you 2 minutes. Like all you need is your name and your address." And then so that they're not trying to do it while we start.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really good call.
Okay. Sounds good.
We have let's see, how many are scheduled to attend from the mentees?
About 45.
45. Okay.
Maybe closer to 40 because a few of them have said that they can't make it, but I'm going to send them their recording. So I also had that on the count too.
Okay, I give up. Should give it 2 more minutes. Let's let them in right at 4:30.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Avoid awkward chit chat.
Yeah, we'll just jump right in. I love that plan. If someone tries to email either Women Who Succeed or my email right at 4:30 and say they don't have the link, I'll be very disappointed.
Will you monitor that?
Yeah, I will.
Thanks.
I'll open Skipio too just for fun.
Just
for kicks and giggles.
There's Nagua.
Oh, good.
These women. It's because they joined right at the time.
Right, of course.
They know.
Never a minute early.
Avoid awkward chit chat.
Honestly, that's what I would do.
Okay. Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome. Let's see. We have a few more people filing in. Perfect.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being on time. We're so excited to have you. Just a heads up, I'm probably going to ask you to turn your cameras on. So be prepared to do that because we're going to go around and we're going to just say our names and we're going to include, I'm going to ask everyone to share their favorite breakfast food item. Can be whatever you eat for breakfast. If it's cold pizza or if it's something you don't generally eat for breakfast, doesn't matter to me. So let's see, how are we even going to do this?
I think maybe if you just want to call people out, Sydney, we can just go in line with who's on the Zoom. Starting from the top, we have a great group of mentors and mentees here today. So it's a fun chance for everyone to get to meet each other.
Yeah, okay, awesome. We've got a great group started. Okay, well, actually, Mallory and I can go last because we're going to introduce ourselves after we start. So let's start with Oh boy, I don't know how to pronounce your name. So this will be great for me as well to learn how to pronounce all of your names. Is it Iceland? Iceland?
It's Aislinn.
Aislinn. Sorry about
Yes.
that.
Oh, it's okay. Here, actually, I need to take these off. Yes, it's Aislinn. It's an Irish name.
Love it. All right, Aislinn. So tell us what your favorite breakfast food is.
I'm actually not a breakfast food person, but if I had to choose, I'd say I don't know, oatmeal. I've never liked breakfast.
Love it. Thank you, Aislinn. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for telling me how to pronounce your name. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Okay, what about Betsy Manel? Can you share with us?
Hi there. Huevos Rancheros, for sure.
Love it.
I try them every Mexican restaurant across the world because everyone does them differently and they're all delicious.
Awesome. Thanks, Betsy. Okay, what about Bella Canigan? Let's see. Bella, let's see. Is she on? Oh, her mic doesn't work. Okay, Bella, tell us, will you type what your favorite breakfast food is? And then Brielle, you're going to be next, so be thinking.
Oh, Bella says crepes or any fruit.
Ah, my favorite as well. All right, Brielle, what about you?
My favorite lately has been like these papaya boats where it's just like papaya and then like yogurt and a bunch of nuts and honey and stuff on them.
Cool. Okay, Bryn.
Okay, I would probably say I love all breakfast food, but my favorite's probably omelets or bacon.
Cool. Kate.
Hey, my favorite's definitely pancakes.
Good choice, solid choice. Charlie.
Just a solid, like, just banana and chocolate smoothie. That one always does the trick.
Awesome. Thank you. And how about Danielle?
Mine is definitely McDonald's hash browns.
Love those. Great choice. Elena?
Yeah, I would say crepes or pancakes.
Awesome. Thank you. Elatisa?
It's Altice.
Okay, cool.
I would go with bacon.
Classic move. Love it. Thank you. Emerald?
I would have to say steel cut oatmeal.
Oh, okay. Love that. Thank you. And Gabby?
I'd have to go with chocolate chip pancakes.
Okay. Love. Wow. You guys have some great options for me. I'm just writing all my menu down here. Hannah, how about you?
I like all breakfast food, but definitely eggs and pancakes.
Cool. And Hazel?
I like bagels a lot.
Bagels, also a great choice. Holly?
I like biscuits and gravy.
Delish. Let's see. Davina?
I like bagels.
Yes, love bagels. Let's see. Kaylani, I know that you said that your mic is having a hard time. Do you want to just type what you like, what your breakfast food is? And then Kelsey, how about you?
Pancakes.
Great. Love pancakes. Kinsey?
I love waffles.
Waffles. Love. Okay. Great. Sorry, I'm focusing on this list here. But I love all your answers. Leilani?
Tartine or like a crepe.
Cool. Lisa?
I like eggs Benedict.
Oh, yes. Love. Liz, how about you? Let's see. She might be.
Wait, are you looking for Liz Whitney?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm boring. Oatmeal.
Love. No, that's been said multiple times. You're all good.
Okay.
Okay. How about Maddie Rowe? There are a few Maddies here today.
Definitely bagels.
Bagels. All right. That one's popular. How about Maddie Ward?
I love Nutella crepes.
Nutella crepes specifically. Okay. Love it. And Maddie Criddle?
I love French toast.
French toast is fantastic as well. How about Maggie?
I really like oatmeal with peaches.
Ooh, love peaches. McKenna?
Yeah, I think either avocado toast or oatmeal.
I'm surprised this is the first time we've heard avocado toast. It's so popular. I love it. Okay. Thank you, McKenna. Merrick, how about you?
Probably like a fruit parfait, so like yogurt, granola, and fruit.
Honestly, that's probably mine as well. Love it. Okay, Miranda.
I would have to say waffles, and I like to be extra and put ice cream on them.
Great idea. I love that. Nagua.
I like avocado toast and fruit smoothie bowls.
Cool. Love it. And Rachel.
I also like smoothie bowls.
A good one. Okay. Renea, you might have to help me with that one. Renee.
Yeah, it's Renee.
Got it.
I'd say Belgian waffles or multigrain pancakes.
Awesome. Okay, we've got, how about Sarah Dudley?
I would probably say Cheerios. I love Cheerios.
Big fan. Sarah Jean.
I'd say bacon.
Cool. And Savannah.
I would also say yogurt parfait.
It's a good one. And Savara.
I'm also not like into breakfast food as much, but I think waffles are pretty great.
Cool. Love it. And Summer.
I'm a breakfast burrito gal myself.
Okay. Love. Big fan. And Tori.
There was one other who said this, but I really like eggs Benedict.
Yes. Love. Very fun. Let's see. Let me just make sure. Okay. Angie, what is your favorite breakfast food?
It would be probably frittata.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. So we're going to move on, but if any of you did not get to share yet, because I skipped you or because you came in after I'd gotten your order on your name, please throw in the chat what your favorite breakfast food is so that we can get to know everyone a little bit better. Thank you all so much for participating with my random question game. We are so grateful that all of you are here today for our virtual mentor-mentee orientation. And we are just going to jump right into it. First, I've got two announcements for you. The first announcement is that we still have a few spaces open for mentees, both junior mentees and mentees who receive mentors. So please, please, please tell your friends that we have some openings and we'd love to have them join the program. Please send this link out. I just put it into the chat. So copy that, paste that, send that to your friends who might also benefit from this program. We'd love to have them. And then second is I'm going to give you a minute here. I need you to fill in this form. So the second link that I just sent you, that is the //forms.office.com one. That is our attendance sheet for this orientation. And that is how we're going to tell whether you made it or not to this orientation so that we stop bugging you about making it to the orientation. So please take a minute to fill that out. We just need your name. And the reason we're asking for your address on this form is because we need to send you the packet and the workbook for this year that we handed out at the event that was 2 weeks ago. And so I just want to make sure that I have your right address before I ship that off to you so that you can get it in time. We're going to send them around mid-June. So please fill that out. I'll give you just a minute before we get started so that we can, number one, know that you're here, and number two, know the right address to send your welcome packet and your workbook to. So I'll give you just a minute to finish that. And if not, if you can't do it right now, save the link and please fill it out by the end of tonight, because this is how I'm going to know that you came, so that I can mark it that you were able to make it. And if for those who were not able to make it or couldn't come, I will be very disappointed. But so make sure that's not you, because I know that you're here and you're getting this link.
While you're taking a second to fill that out, we also want to welcome our mentors. We have 7 women here with us today, and we're so excited. We have Liz Whitney, Ann Argist, Charlie Westfall. I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. Betsy Manel, Summer Jensen. We have Tori. I'm so sorry, I don't see your last name. And Angie Francis. So we're excited to have all of you here today. Thank you for making the time. We know that the conference was a long day and big commitment, so we appreciate your willingness to step in and get caught up to date. If you're a returning mentor, we do have a lot of changes and enhancements designed to streamline the program this year, so we appreciate your time. You are welcome to continue filling out that attendance form with your address so that we can send you out the workbook. But in the meantime, I just want to do a quick run through the agenda. We're going to be going through the program overview pretty quickly, just talking about what the program is designed to do, the purpose of it. We're going to go through the timeline, some next steps in terms of getting started and what that looks like between now and September when our mentoring meetings start. We'll go through the curriculum and talk about some best practices and expectations for your monthly meetings before doing a few final notes and wrap up. But I'm Mallory Santa Cruz. I am our Director of Programs with Success in Education, and one of the programs I work with is Women Who Succeed. This is my 2nd year. I've loved doing it. For those of you that are joining, if you're able to turn on your camera, please do so. We love getting to meet each other, getting to see each other's faces. It's part of the networking experience to meet together as a group. But I work with mentorship and internship. So if you're interested in hosting an intern, completing an internship, I'm your girl. And I work primarily with the mentors, although Sydney and I do kind of cross over a little bit. Sydney, if you want to do a quick intro.
Yes. Okay. So my name is Sydney Liseth. I'm super excited to be here. I am the subject matter expert over Women Who Succeed. So I get to work primarily with the mentees, which is so fun. And we were able to take some feedback and learn a lot about what happened this year to make this current year that we have with our mentors, to make this upcoming year that you're going to be participating in even better. And so I've been really excited to be able to work on this program with each of you. I'm excited to get started for the new year. And I'm also specifically covering the scholarships, which we'll go over, excuse me, a little later on in the presentation. I'll talk a little bit more about that, but any scholarship questions or anything you have related to that, you can direct those always to me.
Okay, as an overview of Women Who Succeed, really the purpose of our program is to provide opportunities for girls and young women to grow in confidence and leadership. You may know that last year we offered mentoring to girls 7th grade through college seniors. We did lots of studies, surveys, and we found that really the most beneficial time for mentorship was 11th and 12th graders getting ready to make that transition to higher education, and college age young women. So we're continuing to offer program participation for 7th to 10th graders in the form of our junior mentee program. They still are welcome to use the workbook. They have regular events and monthly workshops, but we are limiting that mentorship this year to 11th, 12th grade and college age young women. Our program is designed so we have these incredible women like the mentors that have joined us today. And we have Women Who Succeed members that then mentor college age young women. And then 21 of our college age young women, we had over 90 apply. but 21 of them were selected to then serve as college-age mentors to our high school cadre. So we have kind of that waterfall effect designed to help inspire leadership and work to build out the resume of some of our college-age young women.
All right, so to give you kind of a timeline of what this program looks like, I know that our events all started in May. Our first big event was May 14th, right? And that was kind of just to get you excited for the program. But our program does generally follow a traditional school schedule kind of timeline, which means that in August, we're going to start our pre-work in our workbook. It'll make more sense once you get it, once I mail it out to you. But basically what that is so basically our workbook starts in August, and that means that you will have a few different self-reflection questions and activities that you can do in August. But as it shows on the presentation, September 6th is going to be the first time that you officially meet with your mentor, which means that by the time that you meet with her on September 6th, you'll have both August and September's work in your workbook done so that you can talk about both during your September 6th meeting. And then after that, each first Tuesday of the month from September to April, which will be your last one, you'll meet for about an hour. It can be virtually, it can be in person. And then that is going to be from September to April 4th. And the third Wednesday of each month is going to be workshops. These workshops are not required for scholarship eligibility like your mentor meetings are, but they are going to, well, we'll talk about it with the scholarships, but we have available workshops once a month. It's going to be the third Wednesday evening of each month. They're about an hour. What?
Oh, I was just going to jump in and say, and those are all held virtually. We know we have girls across the state, and so it's designed to be virtual in order to accommodate.
Yeah, absolutely. And then please note that November 3rd is going to be our next required event that's in person. It's going to be in Salt Lake again. You'll get more information the sooner it gets. But that's November 3rd. It's our Girls Give Back event, which is basically a time where we all come together and we do some service projects together. It's super fun. That is going to be required for scholarship eligibility as well. And then the end of May of 2023 is when we'll have like a wrap up and a celebration event to kind of celebrate our program.
Perfect. Any questions so far? Yes.
I was just wondering about the November 3rd, since it's in person. What if you're not in Salt Lake at the time?
Great question. So as part of your participation in the program, that was part of our interview discussion, as well as one of the expectations agreements that you signed. We urge you to make every effort to be able to attend in order to accommodate, because we do have girls statewide, as well as mentors and members. We have kind of a carpool program set up where we send out information and work to help connect you. We also have gas cards available. So if transportation is a concern, we're able and willing to help send a gas card to promote that, especially with the price of gas lately. So there are a couple of options there available for you. Great question. Any other questions in regards to the timeline? Okay, if you do, please feel free to drop them in the chat. We will be monitoring that and we'll work to answer every question throughout the day. This is just a quick highlight of some of our events and workshops that we have. Last year, we had a great number of events. Our inaugural year, we hosted Dr. Bernice King this last April. We also had our first mixer. We have a number of socials. And we have some pictures down here from our Girls Give Back event. So we have 2 to 3 events a year. Again, the only one that you're required to attend is coming up in November, on November 3rd with Girls Give Back. But we do have optional socials, networking events. We encourage you to make the effort to attend those. It's a great chance to meet other girls and for women, for you to be involved in networking opportunities. We've also had some full-time jobs that have come and resulted just in the first year of our program through the connections that people have made, both mentees with other mentees, as well as mentees with mentors and members with each other. So definitely take advantage of those workshops. I actually want to go back just a quick second. So with our workshops, as Sydney spoke to, they are optional. They're not required to attend. They're the third Wednesday of each month and they're held virtually. That being said, we encourage you to attend. We have some fantastic speakers lined up. We work to engage our women who are CEOs, executives, lawyers, leaders in their field, community champions. We have some amazing women that speak in those workshops, but we also invite partners. So we invite key people from institutions and colleges across the state to talk about scholarships and graduate school and applications. And we have people from Department of Workforce Services to speak about making that transition into industry and landing your first full-time job. So we have some really great speakers lined up. We also, even though it's not required or considered to make you eligible for a scholarship, we do prioritize girls for scholarship criteria, and our recipients based off your engagement in the program is one of the criteria. So if you're interested in receiving a scholarship, one way to kind of boost your application is to attend those events. One, because it shows your dedication to the program, but also because there's just great content that is shared that you can take advantage of. So we send out calendar invites. So we know a lot of you are maybe not used to or accustomed to checking your email. Check your email regularly. We send out those calendar invites, meeting links, registration forms. We also include all of our events in our monthly newsletter that goes out both to mentees and mentors. So keep an eye out for those.
All right. So like I said, I am over scholarships. So if you ever have any questions about this, you're welcome to come to me. We have 2 rounds of available scholarships this year, which is exciting because last year we only had 1. And the reason for this is because we've decided to get a little stricter on our scholarship eligibility. And the reason for this is because Women Who Succeed, this program that we have, is funding the scholarships, and we want to be able to reward and support our mentees who are engaged and who are coming to all of our meetings. And so with that, the way that you can be eligible for scholarships, this should have been mentioned in your interviews, is that you attend your mentorship meetings every month, and that you attend the Women Who Succeed conference, or the orientation, which is what this is, and the Girls Give Back event in November. And so, like Mallory said, the workshops are not required for your scholarship availability or eligibility. But if you look at this sentence at the bottom, it says mentees receive an entry towards an additional $1,000 scholarship for each virtual workshop attended, which means that starting in September, when we have our first workshop on that 3rd Wednesday of the month, we're going to take attendance of every mentee who shows up to those. And so every month that you come, you'll get your name added to the drawing one more time. And then towards the end of the school year, we'll draw out one of you to be able to receive an additional $1,000 scholarship just for attending the workshops. Please note that this does not mean that you're ineligible for any of our other any of our other scholarships. That would just be on top of any of the other scholarships that you apply for from us. So going back to the September through December, January, April in this box here, these are the 2 rounds that we're going to consider scholarships for. Basically what this means is, for this first round of scholarships, we'll look at your participation in the program and with your mentors starting in September through December. So applications are going to open on November 1st, and they're going to be closed December 1st, so that we will look at your attendance. Your mentors every month are going to take attendance of which of you come to your meetings with them, and they'll send them back to us, so that when you apply for a scholarship, I can then go through and make sure that you've been attending those required meetings on that first Tuesday with your mentor. We also ask for letters of recommendations from your mentor. And obviously, if you're not coming to the meetings, your mentors aren't going to want to give you a letter of recommendation. And so keep that in mind if that is something that you're interested in. This last year, every single mentee who applied for a scholarship was able to receive one, which was super exciting. And we want to give you these scholarships, right? We want to be able to reward you for your participation in the program, and we want to be able to support you in your education. So we really would want to encourage you to think about and be ready to apply for these scholarships. And then we will be able to look at your attendance. So with that, the reason that we decided to do 2 rounds of these scholarships is because we know that sometimes different parts of the year make it busier or less busy in your lives. So for example, let's say you're super busy between the months of January and April, so you know you're not going to be able to make as many of your mentor meetings then. You still have a chance in September and December to be able to attend those meetings and receive a scholarship from that first round, if that makes sense. And once it starts to get closer, like it says, applications for this first round don't open until November. So you'll start hearing a lot from the Women Who Succeed email. You'll hear a lot from me reminding you that those are coming up. But we just like to keep that in the forefront of your mind as this program starts, that you will be eligible for scholarships based on your participation in the program, and that we want to give them to you. And we are happy to have you, and we want to encourage you to apply. So please keep that in mind as you're scheduling meetings out with your mentors, that we want to give you these scholarships, but we can only do that if you come to all of your mentor meetings.
One final note for the mentors, we will also provide you with communication so that you know when these scholarship deadlines are, so that you can encourage your mentees to apply. We also have forms that will go out, and we'll talk about this in a moment, but we'll text them and email them out to you. It should take about 90 seconds to complete, but we ask that you're timely in completing that form. We typically give you about 24 hours from the time that we send it out. So we send it out Monday night. It should go through the end of Tuesday night, where you just quickly record who attended. And as you do that, it makes our job a lot easier in determining eligibility for scholarships for these mentees. So we appreciate your support in getting that completed. One final thing I just want to clarify, because I know there was a question about this at the conference. For these 2 major scholarships, the 2 that are broken out during the year, we have a group of women that are members of Women Who Succeed that comprise our scholarship selection committee. And so they go through, they review the application, they review the letters of recommendation that you receive, that you provide as part of your application. And those are the women that select the final scholarship recipients. That is separate from this $1,000 virtual workshop. And that one is done through a drawing. So just to clarify how those scholarship recipients are selected. We want to talk about getting started. You should have received.
There's a question, Mal, sorry.
Oh, yes, let's see.
Hi, it's me again, sorry. It's
No,
just for
please.
the scholarship. Are we allowed to apply to both rounds? Is one round, or is it only, are we only allowed to apply to one?
Both rounds. Yep, both rounds. We encourage you actually to become eligible and apply for both rounds of scholarships. We have money that we're wanting to give away to young women. We want to be able to support you in your journey. So please apply to both as you're eligible and make that a goal. If you received a scholarship last year, you're also eligible to apply this year. So it can compound year over year.
Thank you.
Any other questions about scholarships? We know that that's a big one. Okay, if you're shy, you can drop it in the chat. You can also send a personal chat to either Sydney or I. With getting started, unless we specifically reached out to you, we do have a lot of women that joined. If you volunteered as mentor, we actually were able to get all of our girls off the wait list for mentees, and we have a few extra women who we're excited to welcome. We're still working to recruit mentees to fill your slots. But unless I specifically reached out to you, you should have been paired with your mentees. We sent out emails on May 5th and 6th from the Women Who Succeed email. If you have any questions, if you're not sure if you saw that come through, if you'd like us to resend it to you to bring it to the top of your inbox, please let us know as soon as possible, because we really want to ensure that everyone is connected, that they've had a chance to meet via email or a quick FaceTime or Zoom call, just to confirm that, you know, everyone's engaged and involved by the end of May. So this was for our networking event, but we do encourage you, it's the same. If you are able to hop on a quick Zoom, if you're able to do something, get a quick picture together, set up a group chat. That's one of the best ways. Share phone numbers, exchange phone numbers. They were included in your email. But text is also a lot easier and faster to communicate than email. So we recommend setting up a group chat and start identifying now a time on the first Tuesday of each month that works for you, looking towards September. Mark it out on your calendar for the entire year. Imagine that women, it's like a board meeting. For mentees, it's as if you're in a sorority or have a dance performance or a band concert. Start marking it out now. And then we encourage you, even though it's, you know, the summertime and we don't have any meetings over the summer, we wanted to get everyone engaged now so that you have a chance. It's not a mad rush over the fall. We know you have vacations, fun activities, internships, but keep in touch over the summer. Send each other some quick messages. Just maintain that contact so that you're ready to go starting September 6th. And then Sydney, do you mind if I go over the curriculum?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I love this. For those of you that are returning members, mentees, we have an updated mentor curriculum from last year. So we have new books that we'll be sending out. And these, we spent a lot of time, actually months, going into this workbook and into the curriculum. It's based off of research by the Utah Women in Leadership Project. So if you've never heard of them, I encourage you to Google them. They have some fantastic research on their page about women and girls in Utah. But there were some key statistics that we found that directly aligned with what we do. For the fourth year in a row, in 2022, Utah was named the worst state in the nation for women's equality. And that's not to say that great things aren't happening for women here in Utah. There are some awesome women and leaders and growth and progress that's happening in our state. But that comes down to things like wage gaps and confidence of women and women in the workforce and women's educational attainment. And I thought this was interesting. It's number 51 in the state, in the country, excuse me, for women holding STEM jobs. And if you're like me, you're like, oh, there's only 50 states. How are we number 51? That's including District Washington, D.C., District of Columbia. So that's pretty crazy because we have over 50% of our girls this year that are interested in STEM fields, which is really exciting to hear. And so this is an opportunity that we have for you now as young women and mentors as you're mentoring your mentees to build up the next generation of female leaders in Utah. So as we found, there were a few key factors that really made the difference in women in Utah, not only going to college, but completing post-secondary education, be that a trade school, a typical 2-year, 4-year degree. But we found that the biggest thing that made the difference based off the research was having emotional support and a positive role model. I'm going to call out Liz Whitney, if you're okay for a second, because she has been a phenomenal mentor this last year. She is not an expert when it comes to scholarships or when it comes to college applications or knowing the ins and outs. But she has been an incredibly positive influence in supporting her mentees and helping them, connecting them with us, connecting them with other individuals who do have that knowledge. She is supportive of their hopes, their dreams. And if she doesn't have all the information, she is passionate about getting them connected with women who do. And that, I just wanted to publicly thank you, Liz. That is the type of women and the type of emotional support that helps move the needle in getting these girls to where they want to be. With that, there were a few other key factors that we incorporated into the curriculum. Things that helped young women to graduate college was having one or more leadership roles starting in high school, saving money, visiting a college campus. So these are things that we really work to integrate and incorporate into our curriculum. These activities were designed very intentionally to prompt meaningful action. I thought I saw a hand. Did someone have a question or comment?
No, I was just giving Liz a clap. I don't know
Yay.
why on this Zoom it doesn't go up and clap and celebrate everyone, but just wanted to give her a shout out. Great job, girl.
Awesome. Thanks, Anne. That is the type of support we love. Let's see, am I still sharing my screen? I'm going to stop sharing for just 1 second because I want you all, and I'm going to be weird and spotlight myself. But I wanted to show everyone, this is our mentoring book for this year. We have all of our artwork is based off last year's girls that were cohort members. But each month you'll see, I'm actually gonna go right here. You'll see the content and every month has a different topic. August is obviously that self-reflection month. The girls start off doing things like skills finders assessments, core values assessments, creating a vision board. But then as we go through each month, the content builds on the month prior. So it's really imperative, mentees, that you do your pre-work before meeting with your mentor. It's really going to help set you up for success and make those discussions meaningful. Mentors, you're not required to do the work in the workbook, but we encourage you to. We know that you have busy lives, you have kids, you have grandkids, you have work, you have all of the other activities that you have going, but it will help set you up to know what your mentees are doing. And it's honestly great activities for us all to do. Moving forward, I'm going to show you really quickly one of our months. So starting in October, it'll show you the month, the topic. There are some self-reflection prompts that mentees will complete. It's the pre-work each month is designed to take about an hour. So set an hour aside to get that completed. Then there's some solo work. Typically it's 2 to 3 activities that mentees will complete. And a lot of times there's an assignment that they come prepared to the mentor meeting with the activity that they completed. And then you'll see down here, there's group work. So in your mentor meeting, you are welcome to adhere to this as tightly or as loosely as you'd like. This is designed to be kind of a base for your conversations. We've had some women who really go through, they do all the activities together, they go through all the questions, and they've had a really successful experience. Some women use the topic as a jumping base, I guess you could say, for their conversations with their girls. Whatever is most natural, organic, feels like it would be the best benefit to your mentees. But we have a couple of discussion prompts, some group activities, and then down here we have mentor prompts, if you can see that. And those mentor prompts, we found the girls, their favorite part last year was getting to hear your stories. They loved hearing about your journeys. They loved finding out why you are where you are now. They loved hearing about the winding nature of your life experiences. And so we have mentor prompts there to kind of prompt some self-reflection for you, but also experiences, personal stories that you might want to share with your mentees. So that is what this workbook looks like. So each of you will be receiving one in the mail. Any questions on the content before we dive into the next topic? Okay, I'm going to re-share my screen and take myself off Spotlight. But here are the monthly topics. We'll be sending out the PowerPoint afterwards so that everyone has a chance to see this so you can review that. But here are the 8 topics that we cover throughout the year.
All right, so as we've been talking about, we have these monthly meetings, and like I mentioned with the scholarships, we will be tracking your attendance at these meetings, and this is because we want to, number one, make sure that you're eligible for scholarships that you're applying to from us, and number 2, so that we can make sure that we understand and are getting the best picture for who is and is not participating in the program. We know that each of you, and especially your mentors, are putting a lot of their personal time into being here and to be a part of this program. And we want to make sure that everyone is making the most of it and being respectful of each other's time and showing up to these meetings. So with that, like we've mentioned before, this was mentioned in all of you mentees interviews. These meetings are expected to happen on the first Tuesday of each month, starting in September. So that's September 6th is going to be that first day that you meet with your mentor. Again, it can be virtually or in person, depending on your group. I know some of you might all be kind of centralized in a similar area, but some of you might be kind of spread out. It would be easier to meet virtually. It doesn't matter to us which way you decide to meet, just as long as you do meet. You can expect for these to be about an hour long, and you get to pick the time amongst your group, amongst your mentorship group, what time on that first Tuesday would work best for you. The times can change every month. It doesn't really matter to us. Just make sure that as many of you as possible are able to make the time that you decide on those Tuesdays. And before that, so basically the first step is to pick the time that you'll be meeting on that upcoming Tuesday. And then you're each going to have prep work. Mentors, it's not required that you do the prep work, but we do recommend that you take a look in the workbook to kind of see what your mentees have been up to that month, and what we talk about with the topic in case they have specific questions about it. So you'll complete your prep work before your meetings on that Tuesday with your mentor. There's a very clear portion of the workbook each month that shows what you do before you see your mentor and what you do with your mentor. And so you'll just prepare for that beforehand. And then once you meet there, like Mallory said, there's a part in it that is kind of ideas for group discussion that you can use, or if mentors have a different direction they want to take it, or if you mentees have other questions, maybe they're not related to the topic that month, or maybe you have something that's kind of a little reaching towards the topic, that's totally fine. The workbook and these topics are just there to kind of support your conversations for things that we have found through research would be beneficial to you. But obviously you're not bound to that. If you have other questions not relating to that topic, you're more than welcome to discuss that with your mentor and kind of get an idea of, kind of get her thoughts or her perspective on whatever it is that you need support with or help with at that time in your life. And then mentors, like Mallory mentioned, we want you to be able to take attendance for your mentees who do show up to your meetings. And we're going to ask that you get those back to us as soon as possible after the fact, after you meet. So we're going to send out via email and text on Monday evenings before. So your first one will be September 5th. You'll get an email from us. And it's just a Google form you fill out to tell us who in your group made it to that meeting. And then that will help us to collect the data of knowing which of our mentees are participating the most and which ones are we haven't heard from in a while. If you can get that attendance sheet or fill out that attendance form before that next Wednesday at noon. So that would be, let's say, so September 7th at noon would be the deadline for that one. And it'll just be the same for each month. That would be awesome. Mallory, do you want to kind of go over what if they can't attend for both of them?
Yes. I'm going to just answer Emerald's question really quickly. So the monthly meetings are in a small group. So there's 2 to 3 mentees per mentor. We actually did a lot of studying and talked to a lot of girls this year on if they preferred a one-on-one format or they liked that small group. And overwhelmingly, the response was that everyone enjoyed being in small groups. So the monthly mentor meetings are together as a small group of 2 to 4 of you. So please be flexible with your time. We're going to talk about that in a second, finding a time for everyone to meet. But if you feel like there is something specific that you would love to talk to your mentor about one-on-one, you'd love to go grab lunch together, or you'd love to even just hop on a quick call. Those are really valuable conversations as well. So you're welcome. We're not eliminating those, but the only requirement is that you meet together as a small group. You're still welcome to find opportunities to connect one-on-one.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a great question. Moving forward, what can you do if you can't meet? There are a couple different options. I'm going to start with mentors. We know that you live very busy lives, and so we are so grateful for your commitment to serve as a mentor. This is an impact that really stays with girls for a long time. Last year, it was really heartbreaking to hear that there were some girls who got their hopes up. They were so excited to meet with their mentor, and then their mentor either kind of fizzled out or wasn't as communicative or responsive, or just kind of dropped off. And so we really encourage you to take this as a commitment to these girls. So if you can attend, we know that life comes up. We encourage you to try and, again, treat it like a board meeting or like some other commitment and try and hold it as a priority. But if something pops up that you cannot move that scheduling conflict, we have two options. Option number one is this month we're going to be sending out kind of a fill-in roster. This could be women who maybe couldn't make the commitment to be a mentor all year round, but would be willing to step in periodically, or other mentors that would be interested in helping out and taking on another group that month. So I hate this term, but it's stuck. We're calling them mother hens. So if you'd be willing to mother hen another group, or if you need someone else to mother hen your girls, basically it's just kind of that adoption of having someone cover your group for you. This is to maintain the consistency, one, so that girls continue to meet monthly to be eligible for scholarships. But two, it also gives them exposure to other women, other girls, other people. So that is the option that we prefer. But we know that, sometimes things pop up. So the second option is to schedule a different day that week. On our form that we text and email out to you for attendance, if you for some reason had to move to another day, for example, maybe all of you could meet Wednesday evening, we have a spot for you to indicate that on the form so that we know and we can track that. We have seen from firsthand experience that this tends to be a challenging option because, one person's not available, and then you try, you get into this perpetually trying to find a time that works for everyone. And before you know it, a couple of weeks have passed. Doodle polls tend to be the best way to find a time that works for everyone. But again, this is kind of a last option if you feel that naturally and easily works for you. Any questions for mentors on what to do if you can't attend and you have a scheduling conflict on your end? Okay. For mentees, if you are a mentee who cannot attend, and again, we appreciate your commitment to this program. We want to reward you for your time, for your energy, but if you can't attend, try to clear the scheduling conflict. If you have a work shift, see if you can, find a way to not work the first Tuesday of every month. See if you can trade shifts with someone. If you have a test, see if you can take your test earlier. Really hold this as a commitment as you would to some other type of big event in your life. If you can't reschedule your scheduling conflict, option number two is to ask your mentor if you could connect with her individually at an alternate time. Don't expect everyone to move their schedules because you have a conflict, but see if you could hop on a FaceTime call, a quick Zoom call at another time. We are here, one, because we want to teach you valuable professional skills. If you are requesting an adjustment to your meeting time, be flexible. Meaning if you're asking someone else to take additional time out of their week, you better be flexible in moving things around on your end. So if you say, oh, I can't meet Tuesday afternoon, but could you meet later in the week? Oh, I can't meet on Thursday afternoon. Oh, I can't meet Friday morning. That creates a really difficult position for your mentor. So if you require some type of adjustment, be incredibly flexible in your schedule. We only allow this once a year. We actually ask you to clear it with us, with Sydney and myself through the Women Who Succeed email if this is a situation that you require. So again, this should be not something that's the norm, but only in necessary circumstances. Option number three is if you can't find a time and you can't clear a scheduling conflict and you have to skip the meeting, then you end up skipping the meeting. We know that that's going to happen sometimes. That's why we have 2 sets of scholarship eligibility periods. If you skip and you don't attend a meeting with your mentor for that month, that's okay. We'll make a note of it, but just know that it affects your eligibility for a scholarship that portion of the year. So these are your 3 options. We will email this out. We will send this out, the recording as well as the slides. But I recommend that you just kind of review this page. Any questions so far on what to do for attendance and tracking? Yes, Aislinn?
Hi, so I just have a question. What if like personal emergencies come up? Because I'm sure all of us, have things that come up, and I just think it's a little unfair to be like, oh, you have to skip it because of a personal emergency you can't control. I don't think that's really fair to us or the everyone else involved, because that takes away from their eligibility and stuff like that.
Agreed. No, and I think that that is a great comment. And so originally we only had options 1 and 2, options 1 and 3, which is why we added that second option. We know that things are going to pop up. There are going to be emergencies that appear. It becomes a problem when those emergencies are very habitual and it's month after month. And so if there is something, let's say that you get a flat tire, or you have a roommate who has appendicitis and you're in the emergency room with her, you can quickly text your mentor. That's why we encourage you to have a group chat or have each other's phone numbers, and ask if you could connect with her later in the week. That way you still maintain your eligibility. We are rewarding you for being communicative. But again, this shouldn't be a regular occurrence. We allow it once a year. If it becomes more than once a year, again, you need to clear it with Sydney or myself. Does that answer your question? Okay, perfect. And again, that isn't to hold it against girls. We know that life happens, but it is also to teach you that accountability and responsibility to a commitment that you make. So that's part of why we made that decision. As far as expectations go, there are a few. This is a really crazy slide, but it's because we have lots of strong points that we want to share. If you break out the math, each of your monthly meetings comes out to be about $250 per hour of your time. So if you're weighing different things that you have going on in your life, that's a pretty good value for your time. Treat it like that. Treat it like a job, like a $250 an hour job. That should be a priority for you. But we also ask you to respect each other's time. These are women who are taking time out of their incredibly busy days. They're donating their time, their talents, their resources, and their money. These women are actually paying into the foundation. In addition to spending their time with you, that's how we have scholarships ready to make available to you. So please be respectful of them and their time that they are donating to you. And also, mentors, please note that these girls, we always think back and think, oh, when I was in college, I did XYZ. It's a busy time of life. A lot of times girls work multiple jobs, they go to school, they have 15, 17-hour days. So we ask each of you to be respectful of each other's time, be considerate of each other, and also hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable. And if you need to have those hard conversations as a mentor or a mentee, be respectful, be appropriate, have, clear communication skills, but don't be afraid or edge away from having hard conversations. If you feel that your mentor hasn't been engaging and you miss her and you want to have that experience, let her know that, you're really invested in this, that you'd love to have a chance to connect with her. If your mentee isn't engaging, you're able to connect with her and hold her accountable to that. Say, hey, I really look forward every month to meeting with you. It's really unfortunate that you're unable to make it 2 months in a row. I'm really concerned that you are benefiting from the program. Be willing to have those hard conversations in a kind, respectful way. And in that way, you can help hold each other accountable for your participation in the program. I'm going to just share 1 or 2 more things, then turn it over to Sydney. We encourage you to have your cameras on during meetings. That includes workshops, that includes your meetings with each other. You don't have to dress up and be super hair, makeup done, looking amazing in each meeting. We're not about that. We're about showing up authentically, showing each other who we are. And we all know how easy it is to multitask when your camera's off. Guilty. So try to be really fully present for your meetings and workshops. Sydney?
Okay, last one for expectations. No ghosting. Okay. I want to reiterate that one just because I know sometimes in group chats, it's easy to assume that someone else is going to respond first and then I'll respond. Or you open it and you're like, man, well, there are a few people in it, so I don't need to respond right away. Please do that anyway. Please respond as soon as possible. We don't want to waste anybody's time. So it goes right back into respecting each other's time. So yeah, is there any other expectations that I should cover, Mal, or did you get all of them? I think that's all of them.
No.
Okay.
It sounds like we're being harsh, but we really want you to have the best experience you can. We don't want anyone's feelings to get hurt because they feel like they're not getting out of the program what they hope to or what they're willing to put in. So these are just some good expectations across the board for everyone.
All right, so really quickly, I'll go over some best practices from what we saw this year that is really beneficial and can help to make your mentorship groups make the most out of them, I guess. So like Mallory said, Doodle poll is really easy to get, figure out times that are good for everyone. Remember you took that availability survey, mentees, that helped us to know what times you'd be available. And we took that into account when we were pairing you with people. So hopefully you'll be able to find times on those first Tuesdays that you'll all be able to get together. We also encourage you to talk throughout the month. You don't have to just talk when you're scheduling a meeting or when you have questions about the workbook or anything. We want you to be able to share other things with each other. We want you to grow a genuine connection. And so we encourage you to text or just reach out to each other throughout the month. Like if you get a new job or if something really cool happens, or if you all have something in common, you can share other things about that. We found that that makes it a lot more fun to get together for your monthly meetings because then you have more to talk about and you feel like you're building those real connections together, not just that one time a month. We've seen and heard lots of fun experiences where mentorship groups have gone out together. They go hiking or skiing like we showed, or getting coffee or drinks together. Or if you want to join up with a different mentoring group, that's always super fun. You can ask your mentors if they know anyone else in the program, or we can find someone who we think maybe would be a fun group to pair you with, and you can all hang out and chat together or do an activity or something. And then we also want to be able to support you in other ways. So we want you to lean into this opportunity and ask questions with your mentor. Obviously, since Mallory and I made the workbook, we have lots of answers to these things, but we want you to be able to also take your mentor's life and their experiences and all of the things that they've learned for. We don't want you to take them for granted. We want you to be able to ask about anything that you might have questions with as well. And use your network, use your mentor's network. That's a huge part of this as well. We want to encourage you to be able to reach out to your mentor or to other mentees in your group to help you with anything that you may need to be able to get where you need to go, right? We're all about supporting each other. We want to be able to build your network as much as we can to help you do that as well. And then McKenna's question about the virtual workshops. Yes, they are going to be recorded. So we have a monthly newsletter that we send out. And so we'll send those out in the monthly newsletters, like a link to the recording in case you wanna watch them and tune in that way. Good question.
Okay, we know we are running short on time, but as a final item, in terms of mental health, we know that you're gonna build meaningful, lasting relationships with each other. We know that these are going to be some vulnerable conversations, and it's designed to be that way. But at the same time, we know that as part of those conversations, sometimes mental health concerns can surface. Mentors, we know the majority of you are not mental health professionals, and we don't expect you to be. We don't expect you to single-handedly be able to say the right thing or know what resources are available to help these girls. So we will have a handout full of resources that we have compiled that will be put in the Google folder for your mentoring group. You should have that folder that was included in your introduction email to your mentees. All of you will have access to that. If you don't know where it is, you can either go back through that email thread or connect with Sydney and I, and we're happy to resend that. We'll be including information in it throughout the year, so we recommend bookmarking it. But we'll include that handout with resources that we've vetted and put together. We also have several women in our group that are mental health professionals, and they said that they would be willing to volunteer, not necessarily in providing therapy, but in helping to direct mentors and mentees to other valuable resources for specific needs. So again, we have shared a lot of times, we want to make sure that you have it, but you're welcome to reach out to our email at Women Who Succeed to be connected if you have any questions. Finally, we talked about applications are open through August 31st. We do still have a few available spots thanks to all of our women who have applied. So please visit womenwhosucceed.org. Direct your friends, cousins, any young women that you think would benefit from the program and from scholarship opportunities. And finally, we know that we have so many young women who are interested in completing internships. We actually have 173 this year who on their application indicated that they are actively looking to complete an internship. So we've already started getting some great opportunities together. We have a lot of internships. We have a Google folder that we'll send out the link to every month in our newsletter. So please feel free, grab your phone. We'll also send out the slides, but on the left, if you are a mentee interested in applying to internships, you're welcome to view all the opportunities that we have here. And women members, if you would like to host an intern, please feel free to fill out our form here on the right, and we'll work to get you connected with amazing women. With amazing girls and women. It's all the same. So I'm going to leave this up just so that everyone has a chance to scan, but do we have any questions from the group? Anything that we can help answer to make sure that you're set up to succeed? Okay, let's see. Oh, that was Sydney.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. We really appreciate your time today. We'll stay on for a few minutes. So if you do have any questions, you're welcome to connect with us. We know that this was a lot of information. If you do have anything else that we can help clarify for you, please don't hesitate to reach out. And we look forward to an amazing year and cohort together. So thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. I'll send out this email. I'll send out an email tomorrow morning with these slides on it as well.
Okay, thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I actually have a quick question if you have time.
Absolutely.
I am a mentor and a mentee. So for those meetings, like with my mentees, could we do our meeting like on the first Wednesday of the month to break that up a little bit, or do you still want it on that first Tuesday?
I would probably still want it to be on that first Tuesday, but if you can find a time, just because all your mentees said that they would be free on Tuesday to be able to do it. But if you can find a time with your group that is regularly better for them, like the first Wednesday or whatever, you can let me know and we can work that out. But it has to be, if all of them are able to do it at that time, then we can do that.
Yes, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions? If you do have any other questions, you're welcome to just text me as well or email me.
Well, thank you for your time today. We really appreciate it, and we hope that you have a great evening.